Alright guys, this is my friend's garage. It's Tyler, and I'm going to tell you guys a story today about a group ride. My very first large group ride with nothing but Harleys, and I was on the Vulcan 900 Classic. So let's get into that. Let's also want to talk about where the hell have I been? Why haven't I done any content lately? And spoiler alert, it's because of my job. It's been keeping me busy. So all right, let's get out and on the streets and start talking about it. Oh yeah, you'll notice that there's no Z900 RS in here. Where the hell is that at? Well, I kind of sort of slightly not really broke it, but not in a bad way. I'll explain about that, and I actually have a small video clip where you can kind of hear/see what happened. Well, I've got photos for seeing, but we'll go ahead and go over that as well. Let's get this show on the road. Well, so everybody probably has their preconceived thoughts what a Harley rider is, and whether that's negative or positive, I guess that's up to you guys and what who you're around and what you hear. But for me, you know, I didn't really have any super negative thoughts about Harley riders because I, you know, still intend on owning a Harley someday. But yeah, I got invited to go on a trip or a day cruise, whatever you want to call it, with a bunch of Harley guys through my buddy that also was not on a Harley. He was on his Yamaha Roadliner. And my thought was, you know, hey, when we first show up, we're probably going to get some crap because we're both on metrics. You know, I'm probably going to get some crap because I'm definitely going to be on the smallest bike there with this bike. But I was thoroughly surprised that we didn't hear anything about us being on metrics. You know, they didn't poke fun at it at all, which was really cool, you know, as they was nice enough to invite us out. And then was super cool about the whole thing. There was probably about 10 of them, and then plus me and my buddy, so it was 12 of us in total. But it's interesting, like literally the first thing that happened when we pulled up with everybody else gathered together, my buddy Jacob mentioned something about us being, you know, the only guys with metric cruisers there. And one of the guys spoke, was like, we don't give a crap what you drive, man, as long as you're on two wheels. So I was already right off the bat like, damn, that's pretty cool. And I mean, every single one of these bikes was Harleys. They were either a street glide or a road glide. And they were super nice. They put us kind of in the middle together, and you know, we rode staggered the entire way. And it was honestly just a really fun trip, going out with those guys and going out to eat with them and stuff. Just super nice, and they honestly did not give two shits about our bikes whatsoever. Sadly, I didn't take my camera. I didn't even take any photos of the trip, and main reason I didn't is because I didn't really know these guys super well, and I thought it would be kind of weird if I showed up and wanted to film everything, and figured they might not take too kindly to that anyway. So I didn't bring anything. But we spent the whole day out from 9 a.m. to, gosh, we probably didn't get home till 7:30. So essentially the whole day out, you know, just cruising around. They took us on some neat roads. Got to go on a ferry down in Arkansas. That was real cool. And that ferry was full of motorcycles, because we had our large group, and then there was another, like several other groups, and only 2 cars was on that ferry. The rest was full of motorcycles. So it was very interesting. Oh, I gotta throw in one more thing. When you think Harley riders, I always thought super loud exhausts, right? I shit you not, guys, with this bike there, I absolutely had the loudest exhaust with the Cobra dragsters. Absolutely, without a doubt, the loudest bike. In fact, the guy that was in front of me at one point, it's like, you know, I really can tell when I gotta speed up because I can hear him sitting there just playing with his throttle. And I do that for fun. I'm not trying to get anybody to rush at all. And it's like, I can hear him coming, so I give her some gas. I was definitely the slowest bike there, but who cares about that? It's a cruise, and definitely no races were going on for that trip. Like I said earlier, where I've been so far, like work has been kicking my butt lately. We're implementing a new inventory control system, and it is a very large project for our company, and I'm playing a huge role in that. So it's been a lot of time at work, not a lot of time out riding. I've pretty much only been commuting back and forth to work on my bikes. That's almost all I've been doing. So the Z900, I kind of sort of broke it, but not really. So I went for a clutch up on that bike because I've been practicing my wheelies. I started with power wheelies in first gear to get used to the front wheel being up off the ground, because that's a scary thing if you're not used to it, because I've never wheelied pretty much anything in my entire life, except for once on a dirt bike, and I totally looped it a long time ago. And I don't want to do that with my Z900 because it's, one, expensive, and well, mainly because it's expensive and I really like the bike. So yeah, I just don't want to loop it. I don't want to hurt it. I dropped it once. Hopefully you guys seen the video on that. Other than that, we can see it's in great shape. Let's go ahead and throw in that video here of what actually happened. Where am I at on my wheelies? Well, I guess I can attempt to show you after this car goes by. I found for this bike, what's more comfortable for me is about 35 is like the sweet spot. At least it seems. It's funny, as I've progressed. Oh, there was a pop. Let's not ignore that. I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but that is not straight. So I don't know if you guys can see that very well in the GoPro if I decided to cut that part in, because it is kind of hard to see, but I'm not really sure what it looks like because I haven't put it on my computer yet. But that back bolt where you adjust that rear axle back and forth for chain tension, I bent that one. I bent that left side one pretty good. I was able to limp the bike home. A little worried about it, but so I took it real easy. But I have it up in a shop now called Skunk Works in Nixa, Missouri. And I tell you what, definitely the coolest shop around, I think. As far as I know, they're a fairly new shop, or at least they're new to the location that they're in. But man, he's been amazing to us so far. Real, like, definitely 100% best price on tires around, and installation on tires. In fact, he told me, he's like, look, we don't charge a lot for our tires. We don't charge a lot for labor for doing tires, because our thought process is, if we treat you right on the tires, you'll come back again and again, and eventually you'll have something that needs more work, and that's where we're planning on making our money. And I really like that. So obviously when that happened, I want to double check, make sure nothing else is wrong other than that bolt. As far as I could tell, the sprocket looked fine, but you know, I'm not an expert in it, so I wanted him to give it a good thorough look, make sure everything looks great, the chain was 100% fine and all that. So he's taking it out. In fact, it should be done at some point today. I'm just waiting on a phone call from him, but sadly I don't even have a way to get up there at the moment because everybody I know is at work, and maybe I'll have to talk him into leaving it outside and wait for my wife to get off so she can give me a ride up there. But I want to get back to doing clutch up wheelies on that thing, because I am thoroughly addicted on doing those. Just the whole learning process. I really want to get to balance points on that bike, but I'm worried about it because that seat doesn't have a lot to hold you on once you go so far high. At least that's the way it appears right now, and it may be 100% fine, but only time will tell. But yeah, my goal is definitely getting up to balance point on that bad boy, bad girl, whatever you want to call her. I haven't named that bike yet. I really want to name that bike, because I named this bike Buckles because of all the buckles, if you guys seen that video that I got on it, but I haven't named my Z900 RS yet, and I'd like to do that. One of these days I'll come up with something that I think is befitting. I know it's kind of a retro style bike. Maybe I can think of something kind of retro, but I'm not really sure. Retro Rex. No, that's dumb. So yeah, I feel bad. I literally haven't put out many videos. I tried to do I was in the middle of doing a video on that Z900 RS, and then that happened on my first clutch up for that outing. So there went that video pretty much. And I did another video with the Z900 RS and the Rebel. We were testing a new way of doing audio to add it in a second person, and that video didn't turn out at all because the audio we used for my buddy Jacob, he was borrowing Patrick's Rebel 1100. That video didn't turn out because his audio was 100% useless, and you would have heard me just fine, but there was, you know, all the conversation was pretty much a two-way street in that video, so it would be really odd to try to use that. It just wouldn't make as much sense. But hopefully things are starting to slow down a little bit at work with what we're doing, sort of. But there's another big step as soon as we get done with our inventory control stuff. We're jumping into another project right after that also I'm extremely heavily involved, let's just say that, in that project as well. But I'm hoping things kind of slow down here in the next coming within the next 3 weeks, I'm hoping, and then we'll go back to producing regular content for you guys. But we'll get there. Worst case scenario, we'll just put out a little bit of stuff here and there and really hit it next year when I should have way more free time with my job. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Alright, this is Tyler from My Friend's Garage. Let's go ahead and end this video, but go ahead and please hit that thumbs up button. I really enjoy motorcycles. I want to share the passion I've got for it. You know, I want to share that with everybody because I think everybody should ride a motorcycle. I don't care what kind of motorcycle it is. And, you know, I don't hate any type of motorcycle. I love them all at this point. I want to experience as many as I absolutely possibly can. And I really wish everybody felt the same way. So, let's go ahead and sign off, guys. Thanks for watching. See you guys later.